Hello guys, we are team 4 and this is the app that we have created. So as you can see, this is an extension of the phase 1 of the assignment. So you can see that there are three text boxes, one to add the patient ID, one for the age and one for the name of the patient, and you can give the gender of the patient as well. And on clicking the create user button, you can create a database and add the details of the patient in a table. So if you do not enter the details of the patient completely and then press create user, you will be given a toast saying that please complete the data. And here I am, I'll complete the data and giving some sample data and then pressing create user. So this will create our user, and then going to the next page of the app, I am clicking on the start accelerometer button. So that will start the accelerometer of the device. And then as you can see, in the second phase of the app, you can see that there are four buttons. One is a download button that is used to download from a cloud, say a database, and then store it on the local SD card. And then there is an upload to server button which is used to upload the database to a cloud server. And the run button will start the graph of the accelerometer, and then the stop button vice versa. So if you shake the phone, then the values of the accelerometer will get added into the database, and those will be displayed. And then if you can see, when I press the run button, you can see that the graph is running, and when I press stop, it will stop. So there's a toast that is being displayed. And then when you press the download button, you can see that there's a notification on top that just showed up. And then similar to that, if you press the upload button, it will get uploaded to the server.
Hi guys, my name is Amanjot and I am going to give a code walkthrough of our assignment 2 of course mobile computing. I worked on two functionalities. One is to create the database file for the user and then create the table for it. And second is to upload the database file to the server. So let's see the first functionality. So this main activity is the file which loads when the application starts. So here I'm taking the text from the text fields and setting the variables. And then this is another method which asks users permission to access the SD card. So this is implemented here. Here I'm checking if the permission is given. If not given, then ask user for the permission. And you can see this is the create DB button, which calls the create DB method of the DB connection object. So we can look at this method here. This method takes the table name and the file path. It first creates the file here, file path plus name, and then it executes the SQL query to create the table for that user. The second functionality that I worked on is on the second page, where the user clicks this button, upload to server, and this is the second page, Java class. So this is the event handler for this button. If we look here, I am calling the get file from SD card method of this upload to server class. And once I get this file, I am passing this file onto the method upload file. So let's look at these methods. So here is the get file from SD card. I am reading the file from the SD card path, and once I get that, I make a HTTP request to the server. Here is the server URL for the Impact Lab, and I'm reading the file using the file input stream, and I'm writing it into the connection output stream. This is, I'm setting some properties for the connection, and once I am done writing, I am checking for the response code from the connection from the server. and based on that response code I am returning the status whether the file was uploaded successfully or not. So this was the code walkthrough of the part that I worked on.
Hello guys, I'm Narendra Mohan and I'm from Team 4. So the part of the code that I have written for the application is the download manager. So this part is used to download the code, download the database files from the server and then store it on the local SD card. And as you can see, the download from server class extends from user page, and the permissions for the storage are already been given. We also would have to pass the context of the application from the main page, and then the start downloading function is used to carry out the functionality of the app, and then the string URL is used to store the link to the server, and then we are getting the path of the folder where the data is supposed to be stored from the get external storage directory, and then if the directory exists, it won't be created. Otherwise, then that directory will be created in the SD card. And then we are using a library called download manager, with the help of which the HTTP requests are handled. So we are setting the permissions for the network types, which are downloading over network Wi-Fi and downloading over network mobile. And then we're setting the title for the notification to be seen in the app as a download, and then setting a download bar called downloading files. Then this particular line of code is allowing the files that are downloaded to be seen by media scanner, and then this is also similar to that, setting the visibility. This is where the code that stores where the file is supposed to be, and the last two lines are what initiate the download process. And the last part of this is used to give permissions as to whether to write and read in the external storage. So this is the functionality, and as you can see, this functionality has been included in the userpage.java part, where the download button is clicked, and then the download object is created, and then the start downloading function of that class is called. So thank you guys.
Hi, my name is Sakshi and I'm a part of Team 4, and this is the assignment 2, and my part in it was work on the sensor handler, that is the accelerometer and its connection with the database. So the first function is onCreate, which is used to start the service for the accelerometer, and if the accelerometer is null, it is going to show that it's not connected, and once it's registered, the toast will show that the service has started. The onStart command will start the service once it senses a motion and will start logging the data. The onSensor change will add value to the database only if the sensor will be the accelerometer. Then the next function is the onDestroy, which is going to stop the function of the sensor. The next function is adding to the database and setting the database name, which will be using the database, the DB connection functions. So in this, I have added the add handler function, which is actually inserting the values to the table, and the find handler function is basically used to check if a timestamp already exists in the database. So this is my part. Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Asha Miriala and I'm from Team 4. In this assignment 2, firstly in UI, I have developed a code which gives 3 graphs in the second user screen. So whenever user clicks view accelerometer button in our user interface, it will direct to the second screen 3 graphs and few buttons. So those 3 graphs are being generated using frame layout and graph visualizers. And the second thing, whenever a user clicks on run button of our UI, it will redirect to a data generation where the random data is generated, and also the patient values are being stored in a database. So whenever that user gives his details and then clicks run button, so this on click run function is being executed, and that respected timestamp values, X, Y, Z values of the accelerometer in which the user tilts it or shakes it are being stored in a database. For example, as I developed here, you can see the get values of table name function here. So in this database connection, I have this get values function where it returns the list of user patients. So of those user patients, the X, Y, Z and timestamp values to the function where it has been called. So you can check here. In this, it will search for a file path and it will create a query where the select star from this table name. So it selects all the databases from it, all the values in it from the database, and it also organized SQLite database connection. It also connected it, and here an list is created which returns to that which is to be returned, and all the X, Y and timestamp values are being returned here. And you can see the user patient where that was returning there. I have created a class which has getters and setters of that function, so which are assigned to those values.